on Kurtis Court. Rapper Kurtis Blow is being sued by film producer James Grimes for $3,000. James says the rapper did not pay him for work he produced for his film. Kurtis has filed a countersuit.
I was not satisfied with the product that they gave me.
I opted to settle for a nominal fee. That's the first and foremost thing that I want to say.
James Kurtis, a tough prosecutor whose decisions make a difference. This is Kurtis Court, where the people are real, the cases are real, and the judgments are final.
All rise. Kurtis Court is now in session. The Honorable James Kurtis presiding.
Anthony?
How you doing? Case of Grimes versus Walker, case number 05-24009. All litigants have been sworn in, Your Honor.
Thank you, Anthony. You're welcome. Hello, everybody. You folks have a seat. Everybody. This is a case of a filmmaker who says that he was hired to do a job for an artist. The plaintiff is now suing because he said he was never paid for the work that he did.
Your Honor, this case is a case more based on principle than really anything else.
All right.
The reason being, Kurtis and myself have been associates as well as friends for approximately 15 years. Back in the latter part of December, Kurtis confronted myself along with two of my associates.
You all were getting along pretty good at the beginning, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to be clear.
As a matter of fact, Mr. Walker invited us out to dinner, to discuss the possible project, working on a project.
Okay.
Approximately, I'd say February, and again, the first initial meeting was December.
Right.
By February, we being the director, who is James Chase Lynch, along with myself, we actually felt that we were in a good working relationship with Kurtis. And we went out, we did a couple of shoots for Kurtis. We did the shoots under the pretense of us being friends, and he was looking for financing for the project. So his financing wasn't actually in place at that point.
And you knew this?
Yes, I was aware of that. But again, I've known Kurtis for some time, so I didn't...
figured since you was a friend,
Yes.
you would go ahead, the financing would come,
Yes.
you would work out the details.
Yes.
Mr. Walker, what is it that you want to say about this suit and to Mr. Grimes about this incident, please?
Well, first of all, I would just like to say this is my project. I've been at it for 5 years, hard, diligently, and I was not satisfied with the product that they gave me. I paid them. I have my receipts right here.
And there's no dispute about that.
And I fired them because I was not satisfied.
The reason that I'm in your courtroom today as a professional producer is because I opted to settle for a nominal fee of $2,500 to $3,000. That's the first and foremost thing that I want to say.
Three other producers signed the same contract for $3,000. 3 other co-producers, I have their contracts here today.
You're suing Mr. Walker for $3,000. What's the source of that? What's the nature of that suit?
Here are the receipts. I mean, I paid.
I understand. I'm not asking you about receipts. I'm asking you why you hired this gentleman.
I can't use it.
I understand.
I had to reshoot it.
Okay.
I cannot use it. I'm not satisfied. I cannot use it. Houdini is purple. They live in Atlanta, right? I cannot fly them back. I flew them from Atlanta to New York. I flew Sha-Rock, the first lady of hip-hop. I flew her from Texas to New York. These are flights. These are flights that I had to pay for. These are hotels I had to pay for. Grandmaster Caz, thank God he lives in the Bronx. We could go to his house, okay?
I understand.
We can go and do him over.
I understand the Bronx is a wonderful place, too. So
yeah.
So for all those Snickers out there, I understand.
But I'm saying, I spent money here. I spent a lot of money. Yeah. Not only that, I paid them $4,000 for that shoot. Mm-hmm. I've known these guys for a long time. This is I don't think they have explained the importance of this movie. This documentary is about 12 or 13 life stories of pioneers, true unsung heroes who have pioneered this whole billion-dollar industry.
Absolutely.
So it's my life story as well. I'm one of those pioneers. So this is the most important thing to me.
It's huge.
For me. It's
I
huge.
understand.
And for him to say that he's doing me favors, for him to say that, this thing is a small project. It's a monumentous project. And you will see when you see the footage that a lot is at stake right here.
I appreciate that. And
not only that, I've been doing this for 5 years. This movie started 5 years ago.
Hold on. Let me just say a word of caution to both of you gentlemen. We have to get through this.
Yes.
I've read your documents. I understand the basic flow of what happened and when. I need you both to tell me the points that stand out about each of these transactions. So let's try not to get bogged down in the smaller stuff about who said what, attitude, that kind of thing. Let's try to get through the information the best we can. I'm going to consider all the evidence, and then we'll go from there.
Thank you, Don.
So we've got one shoot, then we've got another shoot.
Yes, sure.
How many shoots were there total?
In totality, we accomplished 3 shoots for Kurtis.
All right. And approximately when was the first shoot?
The first shoot?
Approximately. You don't have to give me an exact date. Mr. Walker, do you happen to remember?
January 14th.
And that's January 2000, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Does that seem about right, Mr. Grimes?
Yes, actually it was the 11th of
Okay, that's
January.
fine. I told you, I don't need exact dates. I'm just trying to get an idea of what's going on here. Second shoot, when was that?
The second shoot is...
About, approximately.
February 24th.
Okay, that's February of 2000?
Yes.
That's
Is
correct.
that about right, Mr. Grimes?
Yes, the 26th.
All right, when was the third shoot?
The third shoot was March 22nd.
March of 2000.
Yes.
All right. My understanding is that, Mr. Grimes, with regard to crews being paid and individuals that worked on the shoots, you were not making any claim with regard to their compensation or compensation for the actual staff or crew that worked on these. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor,
All right.
at this point.
Now, with regard to the claim that you are making, that claim arises from the overall project, as I understand, and that is a claim for $3,000, and that claim stems from, it comes from this written agreement that never got completely executed by you both.
Next.
We had a shoot the next day. I said, there's no way I can read these changes. They're not legible. They're really small, handwritten.
You need some more time.
I need some more time, a day or two.
All rise.
You think that this young lady is responsible for damage to your motorcycle?
On the next Kurtis Court.
I heard a large crash.
I sort of was holding on to it to move aside. Then I saw it rocking, and then I turned around and the bike fell.
Did you feel that your daughter was responsible in any way?
I don't know how she could have caused such extensive damages.
You would have to actually get in behind it and push it outward.
She's a small kid.
Decisions that make a difference. Tomorrow on Kurtis Court. If you'd like to learn more about Kurtis Court, visit our website at www.kurtis-court.com. And now, Kurtis Court is back in session.
What is the basis that you are now claiming that you were owed the $3,000, considering that, although there was a written agreement, it was never executed by you both?
I'm basing that on a meeting that transpired at Mr. Walker's residence on March 21st.
Okay. Tell me about that.
A meeting where Mr. Walker called the director, who again is James Chase Lynch, and myself.
Is Mr. Lynch here?
Yes, he is.
Mr. Lynch, who are you? Yeah. Mr. Lynch? Okay. Would you go ahead and stand up to the podium, please, sir? And I want to hear from you in just a moment. Go ahead. Continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. On the 21st of March,
You said this was a dinner meeting, is that right?
No, this was a production meeting. This was a production meeting prior to the third and last shoot that we accomplished for Mr. Walker.
All right.
On March 21st at approximately 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we went over to Mr. Walker's residence. Mr. Walker, that morning earlier, which again I had submitted approximately 81 pages to you, Mr. Walker had faxed over to me a co-producer's agreement. I had perused the co-producer's agreement. I had made my changes to the co-producer's agreement, and I had refaxed it to Mr. Walker.
The both of them had contracts for a couple of days. They went over them. Chase came to my house, and he made changes right there on my computer.
Right.
Made changes. We worked it out. No problems. Everything was cool. James didn't want to come over and do this. He had concerns about the contract. I mean, everyone does.
Sure. It's a negotiation.
Yeah, it's a negotiation. So I, in turn, told him to come on over and do what Chase did, but he didn't want to do that. He faxed me over some handwritten changes that were totally, like, You know, every
were
paragraph.
a lot of changes.
Every paragraph. There were too many changes that I could even
Anthony, would you hand that to
read
Mr. Walker, please? Mr. Walker, I want you to take a look at that document that Mr. Grimes just handed me. Is this the document that we're talking about where the changes, significant amounts of changes were made?
Yeah, no doubt.
And as a result of those changes, you did not agree. There was never an agreement ultimately as to what the arrangement would be. Is that right?
Right, no way. And the reason being because we had to shoot the next day. I said, there's no way I can read these changes. They're not legible. They're really small, handwritten.
You need some more time.
I need some more time, a day or two.
All right.
In turn,
go ahead.
If you look at the first page, I told you I was busy with shooting a documentary here.
I understand, it's a lot of work.
There's no way. I took a look at the first page and said, there's no way I'm going to read this whole thing.
Sure.
I'm not signing it. We need to take a couple of days, and you need to sit down with me, as Chase did,
so you can work this out.
We work this thing out.
All right, let's do this. While we're getting the paperwork straight, let's get to the tape in question, the videotape that was shot. So I can take a look at that. Do we have that queued up, Anthony?
Yes, we do.
All right, go ahead and put that videotape in. Gentlemen, I want us all to take a look at this at the same time. Come on over, please.
That shot for Magic came up.
All right, now what are we looking at here?
This is the second shoot, where this is the group Houdini, and this is only one of the interviews that we shot that day.
Now, are all three of these individuals the group Houdini?
Well, two of the members are from Houdini, and the other one is from UTFO. Right. And but they sat in together as Houdini.
All right.
Basically,
you shot this, Mr. Grimes?
Yes, we shot.
All right.
But I'm saying, Your Honor, that's Houdini, and they're not purple.
Okay. The quality of the film.
Blue and red.
I understand.
Okay, that's Houdini and not a color. I can't use that film.
All right.
That's why I'm countersuing right now.
All right.
The whole reason we were doing that first edit, that first shot to be like something we could send to Germany as a presentation of their reel, along with working in conjunction with my company, and I'm trying to sell them to Europe as a production company that I wanted to subcontract.
Hold that thought. Hold on. What are we looking at right now?
Now, we're still looking at Houdini. Now, to answer Mr. Walker's question about the whole color scheme, now that was just like the underground of the studio, which was the church. We had a white wall, and we had to create a set.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
With lights.
Did it? All right. Did you intend for the color scheme and what I see there visually? Did you intend that? Did you intend that effect?
DJ friend of mine,
Well, I'm asking him.
Each person had a different background, had a different color background, but it was the same set. So, I mean, some people had blue, some people had orange, some people had white.
My question is, and just answer this yes or no.
Yes.
Did you intend that effect that I saw in the other shoot? And you can see a little tinge of purple there. Is that what you intended?
We intended to cancel out the whiteness of the wall.
So
yes,
that's
that was intended.
Blue faces are not acceptable. They shouldn't be. In the court of law, they shouldn't be acceptable. For my company, I'm a brand new company, and I knew better. I mean, come on.
Coming up.
When I saw it, I was totally displeased and totally unsatisfied. You know, I told Kurt, you can't show me like that. I don't want that to be seen. I'm not happy with it at all.
Why pay $4.99 a minute for psychic advice when we'll give it to you for less than $1 a minute? And I have to be psychic to see you saving money straight away.
If you'd like to learn more about Kurtis Court, visit our website at www.kurtis-court.com. And now we return to Kurtis Court.
Two observations, gentlemen. First of all, the reaction that I observed when both of you were standing over there doing the first tape that we saw, it's clear to me that you all, despite this incident, this dispute, were friends.
Yes.
All right? And as you know, especially in this industry that you're in, far too many business relationships mess up the friendships.
Yes.
Just an observation. All right, the legal significance, we'll get to that later.
Okay.
But with that as a backdrop, tell me, Mr. Walker, what is it that you want? What is your claim in this case? Let's talk about your countersuit for just a moment.
My claim in this case is to have a product that will be presentable to the public and not make any of us look bad as filmmakers.
All right. Steve Press?
Yes.
Are you here, sir?
Yes, I am.
All right. Mr. Lynch, would you step back, please? Mr. Press, what do you have to add, sir?
Well, in reference to what Mr. Walker said about the first tape that you watched, that is correct. We did do a re-edit. He came over to the house where we played the tape for him, and he expressed that he loved it and made a couple of changes. Those changes were made, and at the end of the second shoot, he was presented 10 copies of the re-edit.
All right.
I still have them.
And a couple of days later, Mr. Grimes came to my house and said that Mr. Walker was still displeased. They had some mixed words.
All right.
At that point, we called Mr. Walker from my home, both of us on the line, and he expressed to me that everything was fine, that he loved it.
Okay, now what was your role in this project?
I edited that footage on the first tape.
All right.
I also was cameraman on the first shoot.
Do you agree with the statement that Mr. Lynch made about being able to change the chroma key in the edit process?
Most definitely. Color correction is always done in post-production.
Mr. Walker, who do you have here?
Okay, I have Grandmaster Kaz here.
Sir.
Okay, when I saw it, I was totally displeased and totally unsatisfied. You know, I told Kurt, you can't show me like that. I don't want that to be seen. I'm not happy with it at all.
I understand.
And he said, we'll come to your house and we'll shoot you over. I was, I said I would do 2 sessions. I wound up doing an extra one because I wasn't happy with this at all. And Curtis had to compensate me for another session.
All right. Mr. Lynch wanted to say something. Mr. Lynch.
Huh? Oh, what I had to say before?
You jumped up. You were all excited. I got something to say, And then I said, I'll let you say it, and I'm going to take a break. Regroup your thoughts. We're in recess. I'll be back.
Recess. Please remain seated.
We'll be back with the verdict in just a moment.
Operator, I'd like to make a collect call, please. First name Bob. Last name is We Otta Baby Eats a Boy.
Hello?
Collect call for Mr. Bob. We Otta Baby Eats a Boy.
Sorry, wrong number.
Who's that, dear?
Bob, they had a baby. It's a boy.
Oh.
Don't cheat the phone company. Save money the legal way. Call Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We're in different ends of the music spectrum, but actually we're the same color. Dark Arbor number 112 from Nice and Easy.
Long-lasting color that rocks for me.
In perfect harmony with me.
Works with my own tones and highlights.
It gives me amazing color.
With one enticingly subtle difference.
Me. It's natural color, all my own.
Which is the best color there is.
Nice and Easy by Clairol. A beauty all your own.
Wear contacts? Visine for contacts does more than re-wet your lenses. It really, really refreshes your eyes. Visine for contacts gets the dry out when contacts are in.
Expecting rain? No, I'm going to show the folks how absorbent Quilted Northern is. See? Quilted Northern pulls moisture away faster than Charmin.
And faster leaves you feeling clean.
Quilted Northern for a quilted clean.
If you'd like to learn more about Curtis Court, visit our website at www.curtis-court.com. And now, the verdict.
Curtis Court is back in session. Please remain seated.
There was evidence of a check that you paid for $2,200 toward the end of this project. Do you have a copy of that, please?
Yes, I do.
All right.
The original check.
Mr. Grimes, did you receive a check? Anthony, can you hand that up, please? A check dated March 22nd from Crush Groove Films, made out to you.
I would need to see the check, Your Honor.
All right.
Advance for the shoot of 323. Yes, I did receive this check.
Assuming that everything went just like you wanted it, had you intend to pay Mr. Grimes for his work?
Yes, you know.
How much was that?
And
in your mind?
Well, it depends on what shoot you're talking about. If you're talking about the 8 interview shoot in February, I paid them $4,000. Out of that $4,000, his crew should have been. I mean, the shoot before that, I paid them.
Don't talk to me about the crew. Talk to me about.
Okay.
Go ahead.
He was supposed to keep the change. I mean, he has a crew. His crew added up to about maybe $2,500, $3,000.
Okay.
The change was his as the owner of the company. I don't know what this man does with his money.
I understand.
It's not my business either.
I'm ready to rule, gentlemen. You agreed to do the work. There was a verbal agreement. You were paying all along with regard to the crew. I must take the representation of Mr. Walker with regard to, I gave him this money, you were supposed to work out the details about who was supposed to get paid what. I find no basis for the $3,000, so therefore the plaintiff's claim for breach of contract, $2,500 based on the $3,000, is denied. Similarly, the amount to redo the tapes is denied. Now, gentlemen, please, you all go back a long time. You got all these people over here, all these people over here. This is a big project, you're right. And it's bigger than this petty difference. Just keep that in mind, please, as you walk out the courtroom. That's my judgment.
Curtis Court is adjourned.
When we return, we'll see how the litigants react to James Curtis's decision.
Unfortunately, there are times that you have to go with what the judge rules. I don't particularly, agree with but I guess, the judge is right. So I will take the outcome.
These are the breaks. I mean, the good things and bad things that can happen to one's life, and this is just one of those things. I got a good break. This guy, he made some claims that were unwarranted, and the judge saw that. He didn't have the paper. I never signed the contract. So thank God. I want to say to all the hip-hoppers out there that, you don't have to settle your differences out on the street by fighting and using violence. You can go to court and stand up and be strong and speak very clearly to the judge. And you can win, all right? It's not all bad. You can win if you do the right thing.
You think that this young lady is responsible for damage to your motorcycle? She's a small kid.
Decisions that make a difference. Tomorrow on Curtis Court.